My name is Zara. My husband has been working in Libya for many years. My in-laws passed away not long after our wedding. I lived alone, but I never really felt lonely. If only I'd had a child, 8 years of marriage, and I was still deprived of that blessing. This time, when Zubair returned from abroad, something unimaginable happened just days later. It shattered our understanding of everything. Zubair had only one sibling, an older sister. She'd married 8 years before me. She had just one son, Aryan, who was 16. When she heard Zubair was back in the States, she and her husband were driving from their home outside New York to visit us in our Brooklyn apartment. Suddenly, their car was in a terrible crash. The news hit us like a storm. Both my husband's sister and her husband died in the accident. Only Aryan survived. Zubair was devastated. It was a massive blow. I was heartbroken too, but Aryan, that poor boy, had lost both parents forever. I tried comforting him, then Zubair, back and forth. A month passed in grief. Aryan had no one else, so Zubair enrolled him in a good high school right here in New York and decided he'd stay with us. But a month later, Zubair had to return to Libya for work. Suddenly, it was just me and Aryan in the apartment. He was so withdrawn and sad. I tried everything to pull him out of it, talking, spending time, treating him like my own son to fill that emptiness in me. But Aryan barely responded. He'd get short with me, act distant. I kept trying to get him to open up, to see me as a mother figure. Eventually, when he stayed cold, I backed off too. One day I went to his room to ask about dinner. He was on his phone and quickly hung up when he saw me. "Who were you talking to?" I asked. "A friend," he said, but he looked panicked, hiding his phone like I'd caught him stealing. I told him to come eat. Something felt off. I started watching him more closely. Little did I know it would lead to disaster. That night, when he was asleep, I checked his phone. What I saw made my blood run cold. Inappropriate pictures and videos, explicit stuff. I felt sick and furious. How could he watch that? No shame. I took the phone to my room. The next day he was frantic, searching for it. In the evening he asked, "Aunt Zara, have you seen my phone?" I snapped. "It's with me. Forget about getting it back if you're looking at that garbage." He glared at me with pure rage. I warned him I'd tell his uncle if he didn't stop. He said nothing, just stared like he wanted to kill me, old, fearless. It unnerved me, but I hid it. He stormed to his room. After that, he turned hostile. He'd leave the house after dinner and come back late. I'd wait up, ask where he'd been, no answer, just slamming his door. He trashed his room every morning before school. He'd complain about my cooking. "This tastes weird. Make something else." If I asked him to grab groceries, he'd throw tantrums and demand money. I was fed up but kept quiet. He was just a kid, I told myself. One night I woke up thirsty and went to the living room for water. Aryan was watching something silent on TV. Porn. I was mortified. He jumped up when he saw me. I shut off the TV, slapped him hard, snatched the cigarette from his hand, and crushed it. But then he grabbed my arms, eyes blazing red, and snarled, "If you ever raise your hand to me again, you'll regret it." Badly. I was stunned. This 16-year-old threatening me. I burst into tears. I'd done everything for him, best school in the city, every wish fulfilled, and this was the thanks. I called Zubair that night and told him everything. He said, "Let me talk to him tomorrow." I suggested maybe sending Aryan somewhere else if this continued. Zubair got angry. "He's my nephew. Don't even think about separating us." I asked him to make Aryan apologize and behave. Next day, I handed Aryan the phone in his room. He was glaring. "Talk to your uncle." I left for the kitchen. A while later he came in, placed the phone down. His eyes were red, teary, he'd clearly been crying. Then he hugged me. "Aunt Zara, I'm so sorry. I won't be rude again." He walked out. I was shocked. What had Zubair said? Suddenly Aryan was polite, ate dinner nicely, washed his own dishes. In the evening, "Aunt, I'm going to the store. Need anything?" I felt relieved. Maybe the kid had finally come around. I made his favorite biryani that night. Things improved. He chatted lightly, asked for help with homework. I softened too. Then one night he brought me juice. "I made this for you." You'll like it. I drank it happily. Soon after, I passed out early. Next morning I woke at 9, unusual. Arian was already gone for school, bag missing, room tidied. I thought, good, he's responsible now. When he came home, he was cheerful, smiling at me oddly during dinner. You look really nice today, Aunt. I laughed it off. Since when do you compliment me? You used to hate me. He grinned. Things change. But his stare started feeling weird, lingering, intense. I ignored it at first. He was behaving better outwardly. One dinner he said, "You must miss Uncle Zubair a lot." I said yes. Then, obviously, a year without your husband, how do you manage? The implication shocked me. I stayed silent. Another time, your hair is so long and beautiful. I snapped, quietly. Stop talking nonsense. In the kitchen making tea, he suddenly covered my eyes from behind. I screamed. He laughed. Just scaring you. Then, I was just playing. I love you, Aunt. You're my aunt, after all. I told him to keep distance. He brought jalebis, knowing I loved sweets, and fed me one by hand. Soon my head spun. I went to my room and passed out. When I woke, Arian was sleeping next to me. I freaked out, shook him. What are you doing here? He acted innocent. I got scared in my room. I'm just a kid. I yelled. He had no right. I realized my huge mistake keeping him there. A month later, I felt sick. The doctor said I was pregnant. I collapsed in tears. It had to be Arian. The juice, the food, he drugged me. My hair loose in the mornings, but I never connected it. I wanted to kill him. I came home crying, opened the door. Zubair was there, smiling. Surprise. I broke down in his arms, sobbing, not joy, but devastation. He thought I was emotional seeing him. Then Arian's voice. He was laughing. I wanted to strangle him. That night, after Zubair slept, I confronted Arian in his room. He was watching filth again. I snatched the phone. You're disgusting. You know what you did. I threw the pregnancy report at him. He smirked. That's payback for the slap. Who were you to hit me? To control me. I liked you from the start, but you treated me like a child, scolded me constantly. When you complained to Uncle, I snapped. So I planned it, drugged drinks, waited till you slept. Revenge. I slapped him again. Before I could do more, Zubair burst in, furious. He beat Arian mercilessly. Go to your room, he told me. Morning came. Zubair packed Arian's things and took him away. Later he returned. I put him in a boarding school upstate. Forgive me. I never imagined he'd do this. He's scum, no respect for family. A few days later, Zubair took me to a discreet doctor. The pregnancy was terminated. Otherwise, the torment would have lasted forever. I still cry sometimes, but at least it's